Guys, why is it so difficult to win the Triple Crown? Nothing since 1978, a drought that long.
Well, you know what it is? It's in a 5-week span. 3-year-olds have to race. The best 3-year-olds in the country have to race 3 races consecutively, 5 weeks apart, 5-week span, and different distances. And it's a very difficult situation. You're talking about 1.25 miles, the Kentucky Derby, 1 3/16 the Preakness, and 1.5 miles the Belmont Stakes. Very difficult to do. 13 horses have tried in the last, since 1978. They won the Derby and the Preakness, but they couldn't win the Belmont Stakes.
The other thing is it's become much more popular to sit out one of the races rather than participate in all 3. Lee, is there just not enough financial incentive to participate in all 3 races?
Well, there really is a lot of financial, reasons to run in all 3. Because if you win all 3, you become a Triple Crown winner. You have American Pharoah could be the first horse in the Breeders' Cup era to win the Triple Crown. If he does that, he could go for the Grand Slam, which is the Breeders' Cup Classic. The Breeders' Cup Classic is $5 million, which is more money than all 3 races of the Triple Crown races. If he does that, he'll be considered a monster.
So maybe the question to ask is, there's a lot of financial incentive to disrupt the potential Triple Crown.
Yes, that there is. That's why a lot of horses sit out. If they don't win the Derby, they like to sit out for the Preakness and come back for the Belmont, because if there's a horse that does have a chance to win the Triple Crown, they'd like to stop him from doing so.
All right, Peter, you've said before that the biggest mistake a rookie can make is to bet on the favorite here. And if you look at the betting odds on American Pharoah, they're terrible. What, $3 profit for every $5 wagered? Given all the different betting lines here, which combination would you use? What's your buy list?
First of all, he won 6 graded races in a row. And, if you didn't go to the wedding, don't go to the funeral. Why bet the horse now at the Belmont Stakes doing something he's never done before? 1.5 miles. 13 horses, like I said before, tried to do it in the last 30-some-odd years, 37 years, and they couldn't do it. It's a bad bet to make. It'd be great for racing. It's a great achievement for any horse to do that, but it's that difficult. So it's not a good bet at all.
It's not a good bet. So what would you bet on?
I would do this. I would, I like a horse in the race, Made from Lucky, number 3. He's 12-1 odds. He has lost American Pharoah twice in Kentucky Derby preps, but he's rounding to form. He won at Belmont Park, the Peter Pan, 4 weeks ago at 1 1/8 miles. He likes the track. He's working very well. He's got a top-notch trainer in Todd Pletcher, and that's, I think, the value play of the Belmont Stakes.
I like how you say there's a value play here, because you can liken horse racing to stock picking. There's trends, there's fundamentals, there's past performance, even though we always say it's not an indicator of future results. Is there also a bubble and a crash? Are there growth and value names when it comes to horse racing?
Yes, the reason you could compare it to the stock market is the bubble could burst at any time. You've been on the bandwagon of American Pharoah for his last 6 in a row. Do you want to jump in now, and like in the stock market? Microsoft is at this level. Do you want to jump in now? Do you think there's room to grow? Or do you think, at 1.5 miles, the bubble could burst?
Right, let's go for the bombed out name.
Right, so we look for some value. That's the goal. The goal is to try to find some horses that are fresh and they're going off at a nice price where we can make some money.
All right, well, staying with that investment motif, how have technology and the availability of big data changed the way that you handicap the odds? We have so much more data than we used to. I know that you look at, for instance, a daily racing form as a valuable resource, but is it as valuable as it once was?
Well, maybe not, because they've come up with new systems to try and pick winners more easily. But I believe, I'm old school. I'm an old guy. So I go with the daily racing form. They have a plethora of information there, and I've done very well. Don't break it if it's not broken.
Don't break it if it's not broken.
Right.
I read Seabiscuit. I know about the rise and fall.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
In Seabiscuit, I read about the rise and fall and rise of Red Pollard. Just how critical of a factor is the jockey, his own ambition, his chemistry with the horse?
Well, I have a feeling about that. I mean, everybody feels differently. The horse, to me, is 90% of the race. The jockey is a pilot. His job is to keep the horse out of trouble and put him in a position to win. So, to me, the jockey's 10%. Some jockeys have rapport with horses. I agree with that. There's certain. But for the most part, you put the jockey on, keep my horse out of trouble, put him in position to win, and that's all the jockey's really supposed to do.
Do you guys attend the daily workouts, or do you just read about them?
No, we read about them. When we're at Saratoga, which is It's like being in heaven. We go to the workouts. We go there several times during the meet. It's like a 7-week meet. And we go to the workouts in the morning. It's a great thrill. And you can see the horses, you can see the body language of a horse, how a horse works, how fast he works, and how he pulls up after the race if he's feeling good. Or
these are all the intangibles, right?
These are the intangibles.
Yes.
There's a lot of intangibles in horse racing when you're handicapping. I mean, at the start of a race, a horse could stumble at the brake. He could get boxed in on the inside. A lot of things could happen. You can't do that just by reading the stats. There's a lot involved, and you have to have a lot of luck, too.
You have to have a lot of luck as well. We talked in the beginning that there are 3 races within a span of 5 weeks, and this is when the rest of the world pays attention, people who aren't fixated on every race. What's your focus, your emphasis in the other 47 weeks of the year when it's not the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont?
Well, we do our work just like we do now. It's the same thing every weekend. We like stake races. We like, those type of races. So we prepare the same way all the time. The chance we have to make more money in races like this is because people like you and the public that really don't know what they're doing.
Dumb money comes in.
The dumb money comes in, and the value goes up for the ones that we like. Our odds go higher, gives us a chance to make some more money. So we like days like today.
If American Pharoah were to win the Belmont Stakes and we'll have a Triple Crown winner, I mean, it's going to attract a lot of new fans. And, it's like in any sports. Racing is the same way. You want heroes. We had Seabiscuit. We had Secretariat. Several years ago, we had Zenyatta. We need heroes just like LeBron James in basketball or Joe Montana in football. This is what you need, and this is what horse racing is craving for.